Right, guys, I need to quickly deal with this, not because of anything other than it's Matt Hancock that's coming out with it, despite all that has gone on to humiliate this snivelling shitweasel over the past year. But first, we got a quick public service announcement for everyone out there. I feel I need to remind you all that you must wear your seatbelt when driving your car, because if you don't, my seatbelt's not gonna work. Remember, it's not about you, it's about protecting others. Anyway, all jokes aside, as you will likely remember, Matt Hancock was caught getting it on with his taxpayer-funded aid by some suspect camera that, aside from anything, was pretty funny, and actually so was the memes that followed it. Now, some of you might also remember this cretin leaning in towards the woman outside the hospital, who you can clearly tell is creeped out by what he did.
For the Conservative Party. It's been absolutely fantastic being here this morning with Matt Hancock. My second visit this week, actually, seeing some of the amazing work that the staff are doing here at the hospital in quite incredible circumstances, really. We've talked a little bit about the space capacity, etc. So,
well, it's been good, hasn't it, to see the increase in space that there is because of the investment that we've put in, and also talk to the staff and some of the patients about what more is needed. And I just really hope that you can be that strong voice for Warrington in Parliament, making the case for the hospital and for everything else.
Obviously, it's not just the fact that this guy seems like some sort of sexual deviant that makes him a running joke. It's also the countless times while Health Secretary he was caught lying or shit, even laughing on TV when he claimed to be crying.
Yeah. You're quite emotional about that.
Well, it's just, it's been such a tough year for so many people, and there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply for everybody that, we can get on with our lives, and.
But it has to be said, the levels of desperation coming from this tosspot now almost rival the bullshit that he has spewed out before. Personally though, I find it funny he even has the audacity to speak in public, and the Daily Mail actually decided to print some of the garbage that he's pumping. Though I do sit here wondering who's paid for this little article that has to be one of the most transparent bit of bullshits I've seen in a while. Essentially, it's him attempting to set the narrative for his puppet masters through the media, since he has no actual power in government to do this anymore. But in true 2021 levels of insanity, he actually claims that those who don't want medical treatments are the most dangerous groups out there, not terrorists or lefty lunatics brainwashed by critical race theory and communism, no. To this low-life wet wipe-it Sheila on Facebook who questions the bullshit pumped out by the media daily that is the most dangerous. Well, technically I think he's actually aiming it at the likes of Piers Corbyn and others, but he's using smears against them to smear anyone who questions their narrative. Of course, we all know it's pure bollocks designed to divide people and vilify anyone who might actually think for themselves. When we all know the most dangerous group out there are these power-mad politicians who appear to be working for others, not the people who are paying their wages. Oh, and let's not forget the media, them scumbags there are also some dangerous bunch of tosspots. But still I would say the most dangerous ones out there has got to be politicians at the end of the day, self-serving bunch of wangstains and nothing more. Now, many of the people that they're actually vilifying with this are not anti any medical treatments, or certainly wasn't before 2021. In fact, I'm willing to bet most are up to date on various long-established treatments, so clearly not the desperate and predictable smears these idiots are claiming here. Thankfully though, these stupid smears and attempts at vilification fail for the most part because people are not that easily turned against their own friends and family. Of course, some sheeple will become medical zealots, but in all honesty, them showing you that did you a solid favour in my mind. If someone can turn on you for your own free will and choice, then they are the septic spots on the arse of humanity and nothing more.
The sheep smear sheep!
Now obviously we're likely to see an increase in this sort of rhetoric as they realise that people will not be bullied or coerced into doing as they command and their desperation seeps in. In fact, their attacks though will just solidify most people's feelings on it while bringing over people who once supported the government's agenda. Matt Hancock is going to be helping that out, I'm sure, literally every time he speaks, because let's be honest, most people didn't like him to start with, and now consider him lower than pond scum at the end of the day. Shit, I've actually heard people say he's on par with Jimmy Savile and shit like that, but that one there might be a bit strong. Still, he is a cunt like most of them, let's be honest. For now though, that's all I have on this story we've got here. Remember to check out the links down below to support the channel on other platforms, and I'll see you all in the next one.